Warning. The language used on The Real Rush may be offensive to some viewers. Don't say I didn't fucking warn you.
Ah, yes. Welcome. I am Professor Hyman Schlosskin Snurgenberger Snurger. Please come, sit, drink, smoke. Now, how long have you been having these feelings of irritability and irresponsibilism and irrationalism and irritable bowel syndrome? Oh, that's far too long, Sonny. The only cure I have for you is for you to bang your head to the opening riff.
Shut up and sit down.
And I just continuously fail to see why they will not cast me as Bruce Springsteen. I can't figure that shit out, yo. I can't figure that shit out. What's happening, y'all? It's your boy J-Dub. Welcome to episode 87 of The Real Rush, right here on YouTube. Happy Memorial Day, everybody. Happy Memorial Day. Born in the USA. All of that. I'm telling you. I would kill it. And whoever got nominated against me, the poor bastards they be, for Best Actor for that year's Oscars, or maybe Best Supporting Actor, you know, depending on what role Bruce has in the movie that I'll be playing him in. But I mean, if it's a biopic about Bruce Springsteen, then I'm your guy. For real. Like, hit me up. TheRealRush@gmail.com. We'll get into talks about that. Because, you know what I mean? We can cross barriers and shit here. Because I heard something like there's gonna be like there's another all-black Cinderella movie or something coming out. We had like an all-black Steel Magnolias and whatnot. So why can't there be a black Bruce Springsteen? Just say it. I was born in the USA too. That makes us common folk. Alright? So, peoples, whoever's in charge of the Bruce Springsteen biopic. You're gonna need people here soon. Yeah. Anywho. How y'all doing? It's Memorial Day. Hope everybody's enjoying the nice long weekend from being in lockdown and shit. That's good. But, and for real, in all reality, y'all, hopefully everybody is staying as safe and healthy as possibly can be. And if not, hopefully that this episode is finding you on the mends from whatever may ail you at this time. But hopefully we'll provide you with some entertainment as well as some information here in this here episode right here. Hit 175 Thursdays in a row here, y'all. And now 70 weeks in a row with a Real Rush, all brand new, coming at you. Out of 87 weeks. Out of 88 weeks, actually, because we only missed that 1 week. Speaking of missing shit, so it looks like that the Oscars are, word around the campfire is that they're going to be postponed this upcoming season. I mean, there's no more to say to that than just that, due to obvious reasons. So that's a possibility. Sucks, but it does make sense just with the state of theaters or the unstate of everything. Yeah, so yeah, we'll see what happens. Hope for the best, of course. Good news though, I went out to the grocery store the other day. Isn't that weird how that's like become like the highlight of shit? Yeah, so I went out to the grocery store the other day. Yeah, it's a good time. I did have a good time. Got into Tito. Got him out on the main road out here. The main junction. Opened him up. Wow. Oh yeah. Okay. I went to the grocery store, y'all. And noticed, I don't know how long she's been on the joints, but Wonder Woman is now on the front of the bag of Doritos. Hell yeah. It's still got the old June 5th release date packaging. But that's alright though. I hope they extend that until whenever Wonder Woman 84 actually does drop in the theater. That would be dope as shit. Just have Wonder Woman on fucking Doritos for a minute. Cause hey, she's Wonder Woman. Why can't she be on? Cause I've never seen her, nor do I ever think that she's going to be on a Wheaties box with the gold medals around her neck and shit. It's not gonna happen. So the next best thing is let's keep her on the bags of Doritos at least for a minute. She's fine. And I like me some Doritos. Anywho. Get the fuck out of here. Doritos, y'all. I fucking love them. And I fucking love Wonder Woman. More than I do love Doritos. But having it be, if I were able to have Wonder Woman and Doritos at the same time, that's some epic shit. Right there, son. Woo! Anywho. Let me stop the gibbering and the jabbering. I know everybody trying to get back to the Memorial Day shit. So yeah. I don't even know what day this is going to come out this weekend. We just going with the flow here, baby, because we got a bandit show, actually, on Memorial Day. We give y'all information about that at the end of the show. Before we get there, why don't we go ahead and get on down to the brass tacks of the 3 movies that I have reviewed for y'all for this week's episode ticket 87, y'all. And the movie that I want to kick things off here with is one that we were supposed to actually get in the theaters a little bit more than a month and a half ago, but again, due to obvious circumstances, not opposite circumstances, as I was almost about to say for some reason, like I guess because they both start with the letter O and shit. It happens sometimes. I wish it was opposite circumstances. Anyway, we're not going to go down that road due to obvious circumstances. But anywho, yeah, this joint was actually supposed to drop on WrestleMania weekend, but instead it got sold to Netflix, and we got it as of this Friday, as of yesterday, as a matter of fact, because we filming this on Saturday. So the movie that I'm talking about here is, and your boy did stay up until the 3 a.m. EST time that new releases drop on Netflix to watch this shit. We actually peeped this at around like 5 o'clock in the morning, but hey, we was on Netflix during that time, so it popped on, you know what I'm saying? Anywho, the movie that we're gonna kick things off here with on the Real Rush here is called The Lovebirds. And if you haven't already seen the trailer like ad nauseum, because even when theaters were still open, this shit was on some heavy rotation here, man. It was on some heavy rotation. But for those who may not have run across the trailer or commercial at some point in time, break it down for you. Kumail Nanjiani and Issa Rae, they star as Jabron and Leilani. And they got a rocky relationship going on here, y'all. It was all once like happy and ooh, lovey-dovey and shit. And a couple years later, it ain't so. It's not no Nope. Anywho, that shit gets a jump start after they end up witnessing a murder. Now they decide to go ahead and try to solve the crime while being pursued, wanted as the apparent killers, y'all. That's what it is. By the time my days. It reminded me a bit of Date Night. Remember that from about 10 years ago with Steve Carell and Tina Fey? So it's pretty much Date Night, except it is edgier and more suspenseful. There were a little bit more darker elements. Of course, this one is rated R, but yeah, there were more darker elements than the trailer actually led on to be. But even though unexpected, the suspense in this joint was actually on point, and that shit rhymed right there, and I didn't even mean for that shit to go down that way. Now, it does have quite a few laugh out loud moments, since it's marketed as primarily a comedy. However, I found it to be more of a romantic thriller with some goofiness thrown in about. That being said, the chemistry between Nagiani and Ray was pretty good, so good job, y'all. And the ending, I did find that a tad predictable, but it was still fitting of the movie that came before it, of the preceding like 80 minutes. That being said, it's a quick movie. It's only like an hour and 26 minutes here, y'all. And it only felt like about a little bit over an hour and some change, so yeah, it's about right. Overall, it's enjoyable with some oh shit moments in it, so definitely peep it. If you have any ideas for any socially distant date night at home plans, then this movie is for you. The Lovebirds, now playing on Netflix. Check it out, y'all. Next up on this episode's Real Rush Ticket. This is a movie that was actually brought to my attention from the Angelica's website a couple weeks ago as part of it seems like it's almost like a coordination, for lack of a better term, between Angelica and Cinema Arts Theater and possibly some of the other independent theaters or art house theaters in our area. But they're all playing movies that would normally be seen at one of their theaters via their website. You can, just the same way that we saw Corpus Christi a couple of weeks ago and whatnot. This movie I had heard of because it was playing on the Angelica website a couple of weeks ago. But now it's up on Amazon Prime, y'all. And the name of this movie is Extraordinary. That is extraordinary. Two separate words. You gotta say it right. And you gotta say it all right. Extraordinary. Yeah, there you go. Extraordinary. Just like a pimp named Slickback. Gotta say it all right. Extraordinary is a horror comedy. Stars Maeve Higgins. I believe I'm pronouncing her name correctly. If not, Miss Higgins, I do apologize. She stars as Rose, a driving instructor with supernatural abilities, who helps a widower named Martin, played by Barry Ward, save his daughter from a satanic ritual performed by a washed-up rocker, played by Will Forte, hell-bent on restoring his fame and fortune. This movie right here, y'all. This is yes. This is so yes. So fire on so many levels. If you want the smoke, you watch this movie right here. Hot fire. Whether you're looking for a new taste, something completely different or not, that's irrelevant at this point. But definite key points if you are one of the ones out there who even now if you're finding that you've watched too much shit on your streaming services and you see this popping up on Amazon Prime, it's under the new release section. Like, normally I feel like that's something that most people would just skip over. Not knowing that that's Will Forte staring you right in the face, right on the fucking front of the poster there, man. Don't sleep on this shit. And we gonna get to why. Because this is something different. This is a new taste. But once again, that's irrelevant if that's what you're looking for. Because everybody's gonna get a good kick out of this shit here, y'all. This shit is perfect. Perfect horror comedy with impeccable balance. Complete with edge of your seat anticipation and a few what the fuck moments of its own. Higgins, Ward, and Forte all absolutely kill it with their respective performances, especially that of Will Forte. He plays a solid comic villain without going over the top with it. He commits to the shit and doesn't spill overboard at all. Perfection, again. I love the screenplay and its originality, though you could see some classic horror film, horror comedy inspirations in there. Horror, well, I don't want to give away too many of the inspirations. Let's see if you can pick those out on your own. That's your homework for this week. That's the Real Rush Challenge I'm laying out for you this week, y'all. It's outright hilarious. I don't have it anymore. That sucks. Because the rental period was only 48 hours and that shit expired at like midnight. Wait a minute, no. It expires at midnight tonight, but tonight is also AEW Double or Nothing, so that usually runs till midnight, so bam. Because I would like to fucking see this again. It looks like this is one that I will be searching for the Blu-ray, or if it's got a 4K release, yeah, I'll take that shit. Once again, it's outright hilarious. It's easily one of this year's funniest movies. So, hence, one of the funniest movies of the decade so far. I'm going to be one of those corny motherfuckers right there. And it laughs right from the giddy up, y'all. From the rooter to the tutor, from head to toe. Once again, new taste for you. Something that, like I said, would normally be skipped over. But, again, don't sleep on this shit. I would actually go forth and own this by any means necessary. So I'm going to take it a step further. If you see this on, or when you see it on your Amazon Prime new release movie queue, however you got your setup, don't just rent it. I'd say go ahead and buy it. If you're one of the peoples that are used to buying all your movies on digital, this one's an easy buy. An easy buy. Own this shit. Own this shit, y'all. And props to the Angelica for putting this on the Rush radar. Or, yeah. Eventually we would have seen it, but we wouldn't have had as much force behind it. Because that Angelica push to the Rush. I miss that shit. Dub does miss y'all. Anywho, Extraordinary. That is actually, out of our new releases, our pick of the week here. That is the Rush pick of the week. Extraordinary. Don't sleep on that shit. Get back to your boy. And don't just thank me. Let me know what you thought about the shit, too. And we'll laugh about it together. And I'm going to get it on Blu-ray. It's going to be awesome. That is one, even though I stated over the last couple weeks that there are a lot of comedies that I don't like watching over and over again because I feel like they'll lose their laugh appeal over too many repeated watches. That is one that, I don't know if I could see that happening, at least not this early in the game. This episode is brought to us by the good people at Deer Park Water. Thank you very much for providing our agua here today. So as I stated, there were only 2 new release movies that we were reviewing for y'all here this weekend. to the last remaining joint here on the ticket here, y'all, is I gotta go ahead and say an instant modern classic all its own from the last decade. Your boy didn't see it for the first time until really early yesterday morning. So it went, I forgot what movie we were just talking about. Extraordinary, then this joint, then the Lovebirds. So this was the meat in the sandwich to this week's 3-movie lineup. This joint is called Snowpiercer. And I felt that I had to go ahead and get this one down. I know this is one that I can't believe that I haven't seen yet either, especially given the fact that it's directed by Bong Joon-ho. And your boy, sleeper pick, Parasite, Best Picture. But go back to this year's Oscar special if you want to get down to that shit. And the episode after that. That's like the Raw after WrestleMania and shit. Yet I digress. Yeah, I can't believe that I haven't seen this until until this week. Shit, making this my second ever Bong Joon-ho feature film, and just like Parasite, this shit just became another instant fave. Let's get down to why, just in case there are some of y'all's who ain't seen it. Anywho, before we get down to that, as a matter of fact, let me make another digression. I've been wanting to see this. It's been on my Netflix queue for a long time. But given the fact that it's got the TNT show that just started last week, and from what I could tell from the commercial and then some of the things that I saw in the movie, some of the shit does parallel. So, best to go ahead and get this out of the way before the show, any passing by on the fucking Flickatron, or what's that shit called, the fucking remote control, could potentially spoil anything for the movie. That would definitely suck. I don't like movies being spoiled for me. Anywho, for anybody who doesn't know what Snowpiercer is all about, this joint takes place in 2031. 17 years after the world has been frozen over. And the remaining people, the remaining living, they all reside aboard this, advanced, for lack of a better term, super train. And there was a show about that in the mid-70s that only lasted 4 episodes because it was too fucking expensive. This is the complete opposite of that shit, because this shit is awesome, y'all. Anywho, so this badass super train, it just travels worldwide, year-round, just with all the people on it. So it's like its own living quarters and its own ecosystem and all that shit. But just like, reality is divided into social classes. Now, Curtis, played by Chris Evans, he leads what you could call the least desirable, so, the people from the gutter, quote unquote, live in the back of the train. I said, hush that fudge, everybody move to the back of the bus. No, fuck that shit is what Chris Evans' Curtis says to that. So he leads the pack in an effort to stand up against the oppression and take over the train and the ways of righteousness for that of mankind, because that is all that is left of fucking mankind by that point, man. So this joint is 6 or 7 years old. Looks like it was filmed and it officially came out in 2013. And if you can't tell already, just the seeing it the one time, so my first time, absolutely, positively just blew me away. And what a cast. So, alright, so you got, obviously, Chris Evans, you got Tilda Swinton, you got Song Kang-ho, who was the Pops in Parasite, you got Ed Harris, you got John Hurt, you got Jamie Bell, Octavia Spencer, Ewan Bremner, just to name a few. Evans, Swinton, and Kang-ho all hold it down the most. The cinematography in this almost made it play on the Rushtron here. Almost like that of a motion comic. If anybody was into those, I don't even know if they still make those, but they came out with those for PSP a couple years ago. and it's complete with Bong's, what I'm finding, at least in the two movies that I've seen of his signature blend of suspense and comedy, and quite the impeccable balance in between the two as well here, even better than that, or I was almost gonna say better than that of Extraordinary, but let me pull that back there. But yeah, that cinematography's on point, and the facial expressions within. If you haven't seen it, but if you have seen it, actually, you know what I'm talking about. But if you haven't seen it, be ready for some. It's much more impressionistic and visual than we usually get in like domestic, pure fucking domestic cinema. Just pure cinema, man. Class struggle also seems to be a running theme in Bong's films that I've seen as well. Hence, I love the message that was laid out in this joint. And the dude depicts such struggles like flawlessly, yo. And this is another movie, just as like the last couple weeks, it's like it was like meant for me to not see this movie until some shit like this happened. Hence, it was very timely. I could totally see some shit like this happening. Like, they release some fucking type of airborne COVID vaccine into the air, and that shit does the opposite when it rains down upon us, and only precious few of us that are left hop aboard this fucking train, and ta-da! Repopulation on a speeding fucking train that's going around the world. I like that song. Patent pending, bitches. If I see anybody else singing that, I'ma leave you in stitches. Oh, 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 oh. Anywho, y'all. Overall, Snowpiercer. It's an outstanding tale of survival, humanity, and just doing right by your fellow man and woman. So, by your fellow human. So, humanity, once again. And taking a stand against those self-righteous, high-status folks. Which, I mean, this is still pretty relevant to today, and that, I mean, like I said, I can see this happening on the real shit. We ain't gonna go deep down that rabbit hole either. But if you have not seen Snowpiercer, then this is an absolute must-see, especially if you plan on checking out the new TNT TV show, which does look pretty intriguing, because it's got my homie David up in it and my girl Jennifer Connelly up in it. What's up, girl? I will fight if is her and Paul Bettany still together? Because if you is, I will fight you, Paul Bettany. Like, it will happen. WrestleMania 37. The Dub versus Mr. Bettany versus Vision. That's motherfucking right. Digital versus Vision. And you going down, son. You going down. You going down. Yet I digress. So yeah, the show does look intriguing. However, I would peep the movie first for the obvious authenticity reasons or purposes. And when I say that this is an instant fave, like, I mean, this just ended up there. And I gotta divide up my favorites by genre, at least for the purposes of this review. So this one, in this type of genre, in this type of like cyberpunk sci-fi genre, man, this ranks right the fuck up there with me, with Matrix, first Matrix. Even though I'm a lover of the trilogy. That's a different story for a different day. But Matrix, Equilibrium, 12 Monkeys, Mad Max Fury Road, just to name a few, etc., and so on and such forth. Snowpiercer. This is another one that I'm going to be picking up the Blu-ray of, or definitely a 4K of. Which, speaking of 4K, I read somewhere a couple weeks ago that, matter of fact, let me write myself little reminder here. I read somewhere a couple weeks ago that there was going to be a 4K of Parasite dropping on June 2nd. Which, isn't that a Tuesday or a Saturday? I thought that joint was a Saturday. Hold on. Oh, that is a Tuesday. Okay. Kick ass. So, if that's true, then your boy will be scoping that shit, and maybe we'll drop a Snowpiercer 4K on the same day, and we'll get a double feature in the mail. Yet I digress. Must fucking see Snowpiercer. Check that shit out if you haven't seen it. And if you have seen it, then you know how much of an instant classic that this shit is, and it's definitely a repeatable movie. Highly repeatable. I would put this on some heavy motherfucking rotation. Snowpiercer, check it out, y'all. And Parasite, if you haven't seen that yet. You gotta see Parasite. You have to see the movie that took home Best Picture 2019 at the Oscars. Snowpiercer, check it out. And Parasite. Check the motherfuckers out, y'all. And that, my friends, is a wrap. Episode 87 of The Real Rush right here on YouTube. This is not paid product placement or any shit like that. I mean, if you want to hook a brother up with some like free water, that's cool. That is a wrap for episode 87 of The Real Rush right here on YouTube. What's going to be coming up on episode 88 next week? Who knows? I do actually know that the what's that movie called? The High Note. That joint comes out to home streaming this coming Friday, so we will have that review for y'all if it does pop up on the right places, which everything seems to be going well with that so far, with everything as far as that goes. But as I mentioned at the top of the episode, that the Bandits are coming together. Got a first ever web show coming up. It is what is being called Jerry's Kids Stagecoach Theaters CIA. CIA standing for Comedic Improvisational. What the fuck? Yeah, we just went ahead and tried this again. It is Stagecoach Theaters CIA. CIA standing for Comedic Improvisational Association. Telethon Palooza. Call in. Check it out. Actually, no, you don't even have to call in because we're not going on like old school pay-per-view with this joint. Nah, it is for free in the Zoom address that is provided in the description for this week's episode right here, right now on YouTube. So please check that out. And come check us out Monday, this coming Memorial Day. That is the 25th. And we'll be doing it from 6:30 to 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Come out and see our brand of humor, and you get to see it for free. However, donations are most certainly appreciated, and thank you very much for your continued support at this time. But once again, the Bandits are coming to you right in your home for the first time with our very first web show, y'all. So come out, check in, check it out, have some laughs, y'all. Oh, shit. In the meantime, as always, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, any shit like that here, y'all, please feel free to type those on into the comment section of this very here YouTube page where you are viewing this very here episode of The Real Rush right here, right now. To everybody who has subscribed to The Real Rush right here on YouTube, thank you for having done so. If you haven't done so yet, what in the hell are you waiting for? I'ma smack you like a whore. You want to hop on that shit, baby, because you want to be the first to know when your boy drops a new episode. And please, continue to spread love, especially in these times. But continue to spread the word of The Real Rush, you know, when you spread that love, you know, talking to your people, just mention that, you know, a guy does movie reviews and shit, and does random ass episodes like this all the time. Like today was just more off the cuff, like we just going more, what the fuck, man. Yeah. That's how I'm feeling. Maybe it's because I'm filming this before a fucking pay-per-view that I'm about to watch here tonight in a little bit. AEW Double or Nothing. Yet I digress here, y'all. But yeah, Let your people know about the Real Rush. And don't forget that the Real Rush does have replay value. Any movie that you want to know what your boy J-Dub thought about and get a good honest to God review on, all you got to do is go to the top of the YouTube page right here and type in the search bar, in quotation marks, The Real Rush, followed by, outside of quotation marks, the name of the movie that you're looking for, and then boom! Instant movie review on demand for you because your boy J-Dub and The Real Rush got y'all covered for life, son! And as always, you can follow your boy J-Dub. You can follow your boy J-Dub on Instagram for my live movie check-ins and updates as they occur. And you can follow your boy at J-Dub Champion. Hashtag The Real Rush. And for The Real Rush, once again, ladies and gents, I am your boy J-Dub. Thank you once again for tuning in. Episode 87 of The Real Rush right here on YouTube. Remember to enjoy yourselves, especially during this time. You know, relax, relate, release. Love y'all. Chill out there. Stay safe. Stay healthy. And be on the mends if you ain't that way. Have fun, y'all. Love, J-Dub. And we'll see you next weekend. Peace. Ah, yes. I am Professor Hymenschlach. Ah, yes. I am Professor Hymenschlachenberger. Welcome. I am Professor Hymenschlachenberger. Please.